President Vladimir Putin has admitted for the first time that Russia has placed a nuclear bomb in Belarus. He said the deployment of the tactical nuclear weapons was a reminder to the West that they could not defeat Russia. Speaking at Russia's main economic forum in St Petersburg, Putin said Russian tactical nuclear warheads had been delivered to his close ally, Belarus. However, he emphasized that Russia does not need to use nuclear weapons for now. As you know, we are negotiating with our ally, President of Belarus Alexander Lukashenko, that we will transfer some of these tactical nuclear weapons to the territory of Belarus. This has already happened, Putin said. The first nuclear warheads were delivered to the territory of Belarus, but only the first part. However, we will finish all this work by the end of summer or the end of the year. The removal of the warheads was intended as a warning to the West about arming and supporting Ukraine, Putin said. The move was Moscow's first deployment of short-range nuclear warheads outside of Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union. This type of nuclear weapon has the potential to be used in the field, precisely as an element of deterrence, so that all those who think of inflicting a strategic defeat on us do not overlook the situation, Putin said, using diplomatic terms for a defeat so severe that it would diminish Russia's power on the world stage for decades. Lukashenko, a staunch ally of Putin, says his country has accepted Russia's delivery of tactical nuclear weapons that are 3 times more powerful than the atomic bombs the U.S. dropped on Japan in 1945. The Russian leader announced in March that he had agreed to deploy tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus, citing the deployment of such weapons by the United States and a number of European countries over decades. The U.S. has criticized Putin's decision, but says it has no intention of changing its own stance on strategic nuclear weapons, and has seen no signs that Russia is preparing to use nuclear weapons. Russia's move remains closely watched by Washington and its allies, as well as by China, which has repeatedly warned against the use of nuclear weapons in the war in Ukraine. Putin said the West was doing everything possible for Russia to suffer a strategic defeat in Ukraine, where Moscow is locked in Europe's biggest ground war since World War II. However, Russia does not need to use nuclear weapons for now, said Putin. The statement signaled no change in Moscow's nuclear posture, would only be made if the very existence of the Russian state was threatened. Nuclear weapons have been created to ensure our security in a broad sense and the existence of the Russian state, but there is no need to use them, Putin said. But he said talks with the West to reduce Russia's massive nuclear arsenal, the world's largest, could not begin yet. Just talking about this potential use of nuclear weapons lowers the nuclear threshold. We have more than NATO countries, and they want to reduce our numbers. To hell with them, Putin said. Putin said Ukrainian counteroffensives against Russian troops in Ukraine had so far had little success. Kyiv troops suffered heavy losses and had no chance against the Russian military, he said. Ukraine will soon run out of its own military equipment until it becomes completely dependent on Western-supplied hardware. As a result, it undermines its ability to fight long wars, Putin estimates.